Welcome everybody to this week's episode of The Weekly Toast. I'll be starting today's episode in a new way because as of August 9th, I am now the proud owner of my own merch store. That's right, you can now grab your favourite Toasty mugs, clothing, badges, and more over at toastyraven-shop.fourthwall.com. There's a link at the top of today's video description, and there'll be a clickable tag on screen in the top right of this video. Perhaps you want a chomp mug to brew your morning coffee in, or even some limited edition 5th anniversary Twitch merch to celebrate my channel's milestone. Why not add some items to your cart and get 10% off everything until August 22nd. And now, let's take a look at what's coming up in today's episode. I'll dive into my time with the Delta Force Hawk Ops closed alpha. The hype for Space Marine 2 ramps up as gameplay footage begins to surface. And we get official confirmation that Control 2 has entered production. Over the last week or so, Twitch users have been flooding into the Delta Force category in hopes to grab a key to join the Hawk Ops closed alpha. I myself sat and watched the gameplay for an hour in a streamer's chat, obtained my key, and proceeded to link my account to Twitch, claim the key, and install the game. During my live stream last Thursday, a viewer asked if I'd seen or played the game yet, and with it installed, I decided to fire it up and give it a bash. Delta Force Hawk Ops takes on two heavy game modes, one inspired by the likes of Tarkov and Call of Duty's DMZ, while the other is very much a nod at DICE's Battlefield brand. Both modes play just like the titles they're inspired from. However, Delta Force has managed somehow to optimize their product to run almost flawlessly in alpha, which seems an incredible achievement. They've taken the best parts of DMZ and Battlefield's open warfare and really pushed how those areas shine. First off, Delta's take on DMZ. Now, for anyone that's unfamiliar with Tarkov or the idea of an extraction shooter, the concept is simple. You make a character, kit it out using items from your personal stash, and drop into a map that is a PvPvE environment. That's player versus environment. Environment? You will shoot and loot your way through compounds containing randomized AI, all of which have their own types of guns like AK-47s, SMGs, and even rocket launchers. After you've cleared an area, you're free to roam it and open containers, jacket pockets, search the bodies of the fallen, all in hopes to discover shiny loot. These items will be a combination of ammo, guns, armor, but also resource materials like power supplies, screwdrivers, and duct tape. All of these materials will be used in your hideout, which is a stage after you've returned from deployment. Players will hunt for specific items to upgrade their workstations in their hub. These stations include a medical bay, an armory, amongst other features like gun ranges and more. I found myself really enjoying Delta Force's gunplay during the DMZ style mode. It's responsive, precise, and very grounded. I also really enjoyed the gameplay loop. More because the AI in Delta Force isn't overwhelming, but they are strong. In comparison to Warzone DMZ's AI, which beamed you from across the map with superhuman accuracy, Hawk Ops AI feels way more fluid and natural. They roam around, peek corners, shoot a mag at you, then reload and push you. Everything feels very organic. Extracting from the mode is quite the rush, as depending on where you extract, you have a certain timer that will pop up on screen. There are some cool features like a lift that you can extract from, but you have to find the switches in the map to actually activate it before you can use it. Overall, DMZ mode, top quality even in alpha. Moving on to the Battlefield style mode, there are a handful of very uniquely crafted maps that I've played. With players fighting to capture or hold important areas of each map, Delta Force has nailed the sense and scale of this mode. The game overall is massively optimized, unlike Battlefield 2042, which struggled in betas and at launch. And I think that this game stands a true chance at not being a competitor to Battlefield or Warzone. I actually believe that if this product is cared for by the dev team, it could actually be a replacement for those games entirely. Delta Force is a game that you should wishlist and keep your eye on. It's the most promising FPS extraction and warfare game that I've seen in the past 4 years of covering FPS games. If you'd like to watch my footage of the game here on YouTube, click the video description links below. Moving on, this week has seen an increase in footage and news regarding the upcoming Space Marine 2 game that releases next month. Disclaimer: I will be showing some of the multiplayer footage that's been released by the official Warhammer YouTube channel during this segment. So, if you wish to skip any spoilers, use the timestamps in the video description right now, or mouse over the video and go to the next chapter. This highly anticipated third-person shooter has been on my watch list for a while now, and having not played the original game at all, I'm eagerly awaiting the chance to dive into what the new title has to offer, as it will take the first game and run with the concept. I'm a big fan of third-person shooters as a genre. One of my most notable experiences with this genre would be my time with the likes of Gears of War. I remember standing in line at GameStation waiting to buy my copy of Gears when I was in college. My mates all logged in on that very night, and we blitzed our way through the campaign, taking on hordes of locusts and battling against gigantic bosses. Those were good times. Space Marine 2 seems to be offering the same kind of deal, but in the Warhammer 40,000 universe and on an even bigger and bloodier scale. This could be one of the best co-op shooters to release this year, and I'm trying to stay away from the game as much as possible. However, it would be wrong for me not to cover the news of this game because it's something that I really cannot wait to play, but also I get to showcase the game to you if you've never seen or heard of it. So we'll keep this segment light, but my question is to you: are you looking forward to hacking and slashing your way through Space Marine 2's campaign? Or do you have a memory of playing a co-op game like Gears of War? Share that experience in the comments below. And finally, here's a small piece of news that I heard last week. That being the fact that Remedy Entertainment, the makers of Control and the Alan Wake series, have begun the production readiness stage for Control 2. Now, Control is a game that I played about 3 years ago, and I absolutely loved my entire time with it. The story was gripping, the gameplay was phenomenal fun, and the overall ambience of the game pulled the entire concept together into a beautifully engaging package. For anyone that hasn't seen or played Control, check your Epic Games libraries right now, as it has been a free claimable game over the years multiple times, and I highly encourage you to install it and play it. Trust me, you won't regret it. The lightings, the visuals, the sound, everything is designed to make you feel deep in the center of the action. It's extremely immersive. This news of Control 2 sparks a fire in my heart, and I cannot wait to get more information over the next year regarding the setting of the game, the characters, and perhaps a sneaky look at some of the concept art, to really ignite the joy for this second title in an incredible series. Ladies and gents, it's that time of the week where I remind you that this week's Epic Games Store freebies are available. And this week, you can pick up Signy, All Guns Blazing, and DNF Duel. They're both absolutely free. Check out the games in the video description, click them and claim them today. And that's it for this week's episode of The Weekly Toast. If you enjoyed the video, then drop a like, subscribe if you're new here, and tune in next week for another of my weekly gaming roundups. Social and stream links are below in the video description, along with the merchandise. Grab yourself a mug or maybe a t-shirt, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.